with us Eagle News correspondent Tenny Sumagi. She tells us about the views of the NBA players like Indiana Pacers point guard Malcolm Brogdon, who share his insights on racism.
Good morning, Archie, and good morning to everyone in the Philippines, and hello to everyone in the world. Around this time, the NBA Finals is played where two teams battle for the coveted Larry O'Brien Trophy. However, this year, players face a different kind of battle, a battle that they've been fighting for the longest time, the fight for racial injustice. Players like Indiana Pacers point guard Malcolm Brogdon shares his insights on activism and how important it is to be knowledgeable and to also be aware of what's going around in today's society. Let's take a look at this clip.
I think it's given me a sort of a foundation. Having my grandfather be a part of the civil rights movement and playing a big role in marching and leading marches and leading sit-ins. It's just been a part of my upbringing. It's been a part of my history. Learning that for me was as important as learning math and science. That's sort of how it was more important for me growing up. And I think a lot of people don't get that sort of element. I was blessed into a family that was sort of a part of the movement from an early stage. So foundationally, in my mind, that comes before education. It comes before basketball. It comes before all these other things in your life, knowing who you are, your identity, and sort of, who you represent and what you stand for. And I was on a group text with the executive committee when Jalen was, sent a text message to the group saying he was driving back to Atlanta to lead a protest the next day. And immediately I just reached out to him and was like, man, let me know the details, where you're going, what's going to, how it's going to happen. And I met him there, and it was sort of impromptu, and it ended up very powerful. It's one of those things where you don't know what a protest, you don't know what a march feels like until you're a part of it. It's one of those things that can be scary. It's one of those things right now you see so many people on TV getting injured and having, all this trouble with police. And it can be problematic for sure if it gets out of hand. But the way that was handled, the way it went, it definitely was something that was empowering. I think the energy and the feeling you get from being with a mixed group of people that are joining for one cause and support of it, there's really nothing like it. So it was definitely one of the more impactful experiences of my life.
As we listened to this clip, I was just very inspired to hear what Brogdon has done. He participated in a peaceful protest with Boston Celtics forward Jaylen Brown. And the most important thing to get out of this is just to become more knowledgeable and to also speak up and not stay silent.
So, hi, Tenny. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Tenny. Tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on the NBA players and other pro athletes speaking their mind. This has not just affected NBA, it's gone across the NFL. Can you tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on that?
Archie, one of the things that I love doing for Eagle News is reporting sports and reporting stories like this. Things that happen outside the game, like the athletes fighting for racial equality. And one of the most amazing things that I was listening to in Brogdon's interview was the connected, that activism is just a most important part of his upbringing. It's important, just like reading, learning math, his education, and also more important than basketball. It's just part of his upbringing. And for that, I just kind of connected with that. There's something for me. I haven't experienced that kind of racism because I'm Filipino, even though I grew up here in New York City. But there's something important to me that is just important to him about activism, which is my faith, my religion. That's an upbringing that my parents instilled to me and my sister. And that's why I connect with these players so much, because, you know, they really fight for what they believe for. And NBA Commissioner Adam Silver gives them the opportunity, the platform to be able to speak their mind and opinion about something that they're truly passionate about, and also something that they want to see resolved. So you see it not only in NBA players, you also see it also in NHL players, especially Black players in the league. You see it in soccer, you see it in tennis. It's also not even just in sports. You see it in other places.
Yeah, definitely. That is just so wonderful to hear, kind of across organizations, you know, different levels of sport. There has been support, you know, from leadership for those organizations. But of course, lastly, can you please tell us, what are you excited about the NBA season?
So there's 22 teams participating as the NBA season resumes, and one of the things that I'm actually interested in seeing is how many players are going to speak about this. Besides, you've seen Brogdon, I've seen Kevin Durant speak up. LeBron James is very vocal on Twitter and social media about it. But I actually want to hear more from the players and also from the coaches, and just embracing what these players really truly stand for. Besides that, I actually just want to see basketball. I'm kind of sick of seeing, you know, last year's finals on TV. Sorry for all the Canadians. I love the Toronto Raptors. I was there. I covered it for Eagle News. But it's just time for some new fresh sports stories to see on television.
You know, that's the most wonderful part. Other than just basketball, there definitely is a more human-ish interest, human connection part of it all. So thank you so much, Tenny, for joining us today.
Thank you, Archie.